What is up, you guys? You're watching Surgery Secrets. Before I get started with today's video, if you can please give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe button. Both of those things really mean a lot to me, and they help out the channel, and it continues for me to be creating more great content. So just doing those two simple things means the world to me. I've been doing a lot of requested content, so if you have any video requests, leave them down in the description box. And now I have a Twitter. Tweet me your questions and I will answer them. So I'll leave that down below, and all the information, everything I'm talking about today, always make sure to check the description box. Wearing and everything will be in the link down below. And other than that, let's get started with today's video. Dior handbags. I've been getting questions. Are Dior handbags worth the money? How do you like your Dior handbags? Do you like the oblique? What are your thoughts and your opinions? I want to hear everything you have to say about Dior. And I decided I never really thought about making a video about Dior. I have two bags. I don't know why I haven't thought about making an actual dedicated Dior video until now. So I do have a video where I unbox my Dior book tote that I got for my 19th birthday, which I will leave linked down below. Other than that, that's kind of the only video that I have specifically made for Dior, that I have shown like Dior makeup products and other items throughout my videos, but nothing else other than that unboxing. So I decided today would be a really great day to talk about Dior handbags. So, and if they're worth the money, or what are my thoughts and my opinions. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the Dior handbags that I own. So I have the iconic Dior book tote in the oblique navy, and this one is in the regular standard size. This obviously my birthday, September 4th. I also recently purchased this Dior saddle bag, pretty loved, from Fashion File about a month and a half ago, and I also purchased it with the strap as well from Fashion File. This is the strap that people do tend to get, the classic oblique one, when they purchase a bag that they want a strap with. This is the kind of common one that I see. And then the other item that I have kind of from Dior accessories, I have a pair of shoes, and then I also have a belt from Dior, and that's pretty much all I have from Dior is these two bags, the strap, a pair of shoes, and then a belt from Dior. That's it. Any questions, is the Dior saddle bag worth it? Are these trendy bags going anywhere in the next couple of years? Do you think that this is like another it bag, like lean bags or the Givenchy Antigona? Is it one of those? Do you think it's going to come? Do you think it's going to stay? Do I like the vintage bags? So I'm going to be answering almost every single one of those questions in today's video. As far as Dior's lineup of handbags, they have such a very edited collection. It's not like Louis Vuitton where they have so many different styles. They have the Speedy, Neverfull, Multi-Pochette, Alma, the Keep All, the luggages, a lot of SOGs. Like, they just have so much variation. Or a brand like Tory Burch where they have like the Robinson, the Gemini Lira, they have McGraw, you know, they have many lines. Dior, it is such an edited collection. Core bags that they have in their stores is going to be the book tote collection, is going to be the saddle collection, it's going to be the Montaigne 30, and the most iconic bag from the house of Dior is going to be the Dior Lady Dior. Now they do have other styles, like they may do, like right now the Dior Vanity just came out, and they do styles of different other Dior bags throughout the seasons, but for the most part, as of like the last couple of months, book tote, the saddle, the Montaigne, and the Lady Dior are their lineup as far as handbags. Now, I've been getting questions about the Diorama collection, and if the Diorama is staying or going. From my understanding, what I've been hearing is that the Diorama collection is a discontinued collection. So I'm not including it, and if you go on their website, there's only a very edited selection of Diorama handbags. I believe there's only 2 or 3 handbags. From my knowledge, they discontinued Diorama. There are other variations of Dior handbags, you know, season to season, but for the most part, those kind of 4 core bags. As far as the vintage bags, I love me a good vintage bag. I'm on a no handbag shopping ban just because I've been buying quite a bit of handbags the last couple of months, and I really need to stop and appreciate the items that I already have and kind of take a moment and, you know, really use the items that I love and I cherish in my handbag collection and just in my collection in general. So right now, I'm not looking to purchase any handbags. And then the next couple of months and in the fall winter, I do see myself adding a lot more vintage bags. Now there's a difference between buying like pre-love, like this is a bag that this is a current bag that's still sold, but I just got it in the pre-love market. It's not vintage because it's still sold and the bag is not over, you know, it's not over a certain amount of years. I do like vintage bags in general, and I do think a lot of the Dior vintage bags are beautiful and they're really nice, and you know, a lot of the vintage Diors, you don't see other people carrying them, so it is a little bit more different. And yeah, I just really do like the Dior vintage bags. So I do get questions, what are my thoughts on Dior vintage bags? Do you here for them? Do you like the older oblique? Now I will say I do prefer this newer oblique on the Dior handbags versus the older one, just my personal opinion, but I do like a lot of the leather older styles quite a lot. I think that they're so beautiful. Like they look, when I see them on Instagram, they just look, and I can just feel, like I can mentally kind of tell, like when you feel them, they feel so nice and buttery soft. But really like vintage bags, and if you can get your hands on one, I would definitely go for it. Handbags, you know, when the saddle got reissued, I know the vintage ones went for a lot of money. They still do, but it's not as much as, you know, as much as the hype when, you know, the Dior saddlebag got reissued. So if you do want to purchase a Dior vintage bags, I think right now is a really great time, because, you know, Dior is still a very, very popular brand, but it's not, you know, it wasn't that huge spike like when this bag got reissued. As far as Dior being a timeless and classic brand, for me, I do think that the Dior oblique monogram is a classic item. Even though it did get revamped a couple of years ago, I still think that it is a classic print. Now, as far as the bags that I have right here in my collection, I'm not really too sure if they are going to be core bags. When I did purchase this book tote, I was talking to the lady, and I was having just a conversation with her, like, if I buy this bag, am I going to get my money's worth? 3 or 4 years still be having the Dior book tote, and she told me that Dior book tote is the main push for Dior bags. So she said she most likely it will still be in the collection a couple of years from now when I bought it in September. So that's the reason why I bought it. So for me, I do see the Dior book tote still being a popular bag for the least the next 2 years. It could change in the next 2 years where, you know, a lot of people are consigning their Dior book totes. A lot of people, they're going on the secondhand market for $1,500, for $2,000, because the retail on this bag here in the States is $2,750. Now I bought mine before the price increase when it was $2,700, so it went up by $50 more, and I believe the saddlebag and the strap had a price increase as well, but I'm not quite too sure. But I know for sure that the book tote did have a price increase. So as far as me right now, comfortable in my collection, I do see myself wearing them for the next couple of seasons, because they are technically still current, they are still made, but the moment that they're discontinued, I have to make a quick decision if I do want to sell them or if I want to keep them in my collection, because I always want my items to look very clean, classic, you know, very current. I'm not sure if I would keep the book tote in my collection. We'll see the next 2 years how the collections are, and I know they have a super mini size, and they have the small book tote, so they have 3 sizes in this now. And for me, I still see people wearing them. I do think that it's popular. People like to wear their Dior book tote with other Dior ready to wear, with Dior shoes, sunglasses. Like, you know, I wear my Dior oblique belt with this bag. So I think that Dior's train is still going strong. And as far as the saddlebag, I think that the saddlebag will not be going anywhere, even though if it does not become such an it bag, I think that this bag will always come around. What goes around comes around. I always tell people in their closets, if you truly like something and you truly, and maybe it's a little bit out of style or maybe it's not in, everything comes around in fashion. Keep it in your wardrobe, and, you know, one day you'll push it. But if you love it, if you don't love it, then obviously don't keep it. But I do think that the Dior is a timeless classic, and when I bought this pre-love, I already knew that this is a bag that I was never going to sell, and that this is a bag that I'm always going to have, that it's always going to be a core item in my collection. And same for the strap. When I bought the strap, I knew that this is going to be a core item to have, and that I was never going to sell it. Now the book tote I have been loving. I have been using it quite a lot. I've been taking it for trips, to my 9 to 5, to going out grocery shopping in general. I have been using it quite a bit. But what I will say about Dior, this may come across a little funny, so I'm going to say how it is. Dior is a little bit more of a pricey brand compared to other designer and other contemporary bags, so you don't really see them as often. It is not as saturated as some other monogram prints, such as the Louis Vuitton monogram. You don't see it as often and as common. So when you do see it, for me, so here in Dallas, I do see people have Dior handbags, but not as much as a Louis Vuitton, not as much as a Chanel, not as much even as an Hermes. But when I do see a Dior handbag, I always have to compliment it. I think that they are gorgeous and beautiful handbags, and Maria Grazio, I think that she does an incredible job. She gave Dior such a youthful vibe to it, and that's what I really like. And that's why I went and purchased, you know, Dior handbags, is because I like the vibe, I like the messaging, I really like the way when I wear a Dior handbag, the way it makes me feel. And, you know, when I see the fashion shows, when I see people wearing Dior bags, the messaging, and I like the brand, and I like what they kind of stand for. So for me, that's why I like Dior. You know, I do really like handbags, but I also take in consideration the brands that I'm wearing, and is it a brand that I really like? Is it a brand that I stand by? I like to know the history. I like to know the backing. I like to know, you know, facts about handbags and designer brands for the most part before I purchase them. It's very rare for me to go to, let's say, a certain store and see brands that I don't know and buy it right from the get-go. I really don't tend to do that. I like to research and really look and invest my time to see if it's something that is worth buying for myself. So I think that Dior is different. You know, it is a monogram bag, but you don't see it as often, and I like the way it makes me feel, and the items are practical and they work for my lifestyle. So in my Dior book tote, I can put like my laptop, I can put all my stuff in here. The Dior saddlebag, I can put more edited stuff, but it's such a sleek and beautiful handbag. As far as Dior holding their resale value or how they go, right now the Dior book tote does pretty well. I believe pretty good indication that it is pretty strong, and the price points for the Dior book totes pre-loved are pretty much around the same price about what they cost in the store. Now the saddlebag has been having a little bit more of a decrease in price. This retails for $3,350 and I got mine for $2,300, so I got it for about $1,000 off. So if you do want a Dior saddlebag, a lot of versions are going for a lot less in the pre-love market. So if you are interested in purchasing a Dior saddlebag, I highly consider the pre-love market, and my preferred place to buy pre-love goods is Fashion File. That's where almost every single one of my designer items that I buy pre-loved that's over a certain amount comes from Fashion File. I also get asked if Dior handbags go on sale. I personally don't see Dior handbags going on sale. I know they do have outlets. I know there's one in London. I'm not really sure about the other locations, but other than that, I haven't seen Dior handbags go on sale like at Neiman Marcus or at Saks Fifth Avenue. I don't really see that. I see their accessories and their ready-to-wear and their shoes at the end of the season, but never their handbags. I've seen them is through their Dior outlet in Bicester Village. Other than that, I don't really see them going on sale ever. We get questions, does Dior handbags go on sale? From what I understand, only the Dior outlets, which is a very, very few in the entire world. As far as price increases, I believe these bags have had quite a bit of price increases, and they're always going to be continuing going up. And I do think that these are going to be core bags for the next couple of years. So if you do want a Dior handbag, I would honestly go ahead and go for it right now. Or if you're watching this video 6 months or even a year from now, I think right now is a really great time to purchase a Dior handbag, because they're gorgeous bags. They're so beautiful. And like I said, even if, let's say, the Dior saddlebag isn't a popular bag, or if it gets discontinued again, I see myself still wearing it, and I see myself loving it, because I just think it's such a timeless and like it's such a beautiful bag. And I live in Texas. It's a saddle, so you know, yeehaw. So it's very much a Texas bag. I think that they're timeless. I think that the oblique is timeless. So it's kind of like Louis Vuitton monogram. Louis Vuitton monogram is timeless. So when you do see the Louis Vuitton monogram, and regardless of what Louis Vuitton bag, if it's in good shape, it looks beautiful, and for the most part it goes. There are exceptions to the rule. I think that it is a classic bag. So I do think that the Dior saddle is a classic. I wouldn't say for the Dior book tote just yet, just because it hasn't been out too long. This bag has been out since the early 2000s. So I think that, you know, it is, even though it did get reissued, I do think that it is ultimately a timeless classic for Dior. I love my Dior items. I think that they're so beautiful, that they have styles for the men's line, but for me, I prefer these bags that I have from the women's line. I'm about 5'11". If it's good, you can fit your laptop. It's just nice and movable, and when I travel, I take my luggage from Remova, so when I travel like this. So I put the handles through here, and you know, it doesn't fall off or nothing happens, and you know, the luggage protects the bag, and I think that this is so sleek and so nice to travel. And I like that it's an open tote. I know some people don't like open totes. For me, I live in the suburbs, so I don't really have to worry about that. And when I am in the city, I'm 5'11". I'm, like I said, I'm a big person, so I feel like nothing would happen to me about zippers or anything like that. Sometimes I do prefer them in other bags versus others, but for the most part, I can get my own if something were to go down. It's just all canvas, so it is a full canvas tote, and the only piece of leather is this little leather tab that says Christian Dior, made in Italy, with the little numbers in the back, and that's pretty much the bag. It's just a straight up canvas bag, but I do like it. I do think it's worth the money. I've had it since September, and it's holding up pretty well. And Dior does, for what I was told when I purchased this bag, was you can get it clean for 1 time of a year purchase. So I will get this clean after all the situation's kind of over. I would be taking it to Dior to get clean, just so I can take advantage of that offer. But as far as corner wear, there is a little bit of corner wear, but not really that much at the point where it's like bothering me. I just think it's fine. But like I said, I will be taking it to Dior to, you know, get taken care of, to get cleaned. But the only corner wear is like that, but on the other corners it tends to look pretty fine. So I think it's a great bag. I really like it, and I do think it's worth the money. With Dior, you are paying for the brand. You are paying for Christian Dior. You know, there are brands where, you know, like Dagny Dover, Coach, and Tory Burch, a lot of value for those brands. But for Dior, you are paying for the brand, so I will say that. And as far as the saddlebag, I like it. I like when I carry it in the crook of my arms. It has a CD. I just think it's a cute bag. I think proportionally it looks good. I get a lot of compliments on this bag. I like to wear it with the strap, wear it as a little shoulder bag. It does look a little awkward as a crossbody just because I am more on the taller. A close-up of the Dior saddle with this kind of smoother leather, and then same here throughout the strap. And it also is in this navy color. Here is the CD, just in case if you're interested and want to see more of a close-up. It has a back pocket, and it's a magnetic closure, and there's 2 magnets right here, and then you open it up, and then I have a receipt in there, don't mind that, but it says Christian Dior. And then here is a little leather tab, and this is nice and smooth, and the pocket kind of goes like that. It's the inside of the Dior saddle, if you're ever wondering. I'm getting asked to show my handbags more into detail versus just kind of showing them one by one. So that's a little nice view of the Dior bags. The reason why I like Dior a lot is the customer service that I get from the store. Before Dior book tote, I went to this store in Highland Park, and I spent about 30 minutes in there looking at a bunch of other bags and just, you know, just taking a look at the store because I never really been inside the Dior boutique. Never. So I decided to look at all their bags, try them all on. They let me play with all the bags. Super nice, super chill. They're not pressuring. Like I said, I looked at everything in the entire boutique, and they were so nice. They were just so nice and so attentive. Another really reason why I went back and purchased this bag like a month later is because the great customer service. I told them I was not looking to buy today, but they weren't like, oh my god, like, oh, like wasting time. No, they were very nice. They were very attentive. You know, they were even gonna offer me champagne. I'm under 21, so I can't drink. So yeah, like they're just always nice as staff. And all the other stores that I've been through when I was in London, everybody from the Dior boutiques were super nice, super sweet. When I went to the Heathrow airport, when I went to the one inside Harrods, inside Selfridges, Bond Street, everybody was super nice and super attentive. And when you spend money and when you go to the full price stores, I like to be treated with respect and with dignity. And there's other brands where, you know, they just don't really care, or they don't go the extra mile. And, you know, when I bought this bag, they were so sweet, so nice. Like when I went there, I was like, oh, I'm buying it, but I still want to look at more bags. And, you know, for me, I also really appreciate that. And that also makes and breaks a purchase when I purchase it from full price channels or department stores, is also the experience and the way that I'm treated. So every single time I go into Dior, I get treated with respect, with dignity. It should be like that in every single store, but unfortunately, a lot of stores don't do that. A lot of stores are rude. A lot of stores are disrespectful. When I went inside a store in London, a designer store, I was just told, oh, are you going to buy something today? Like literally the sales associate told me that in one of the boutiques. And you know, there are places where they are like that, but I'm here to say through my experiences with Dior, I have never experienced anything negative or anything rude. And I just really like the customer service and the way they take care of the client. Right now, I'm really satisfied in my handbags and my entire Dior collection. I like my saddlebag, I like my book tote, I like the belt that I have, which I'll show you right now. This one's a men's belt with the silver hardware with the oblique, and you can make it black from the men's line size 85. I'm really happy and content with the 3 pieces that I own. As far as accessories and the pair of shoes that I own, I'm really content, I'm really happy. But I do see myself with Lady Dior later down the road, maybe not this year, maybe in 2021. Go into the store, I know that I will be welcome with open arms. And let's say the Dior boutique were to open tomorrow here in Texas. If I go there just looking at Dior, Lady Dior's, they're going to be so nice and so attentive, and you know, I can take pictures, and you know, I can, you know, FaceTime and show the bags, and you know, I don't have to, you know, I don't feel like I'm wasting their time, and I don't feel like, you know, they're not pressuring me to purchase a very expensive bag. So I do like that about Dior, and I don't know if it's something that they kind of specialize throughout entire stores. Like I worked at Chick-fil-A as my first job, and you know, you have to be nice, you have to be attentive. So I don't know if that's kind of, you know, they're two different things, but you know what I mean, like as far as the customer service and how you treat people. I don't know if they get trained on that specifically to make sure to every customer matters, and you know, think a customer to the boutiques, because you know, a lot of people aren't doing a lot of retail shopping. For designer, yes, because you know, there's nothing like, you know, no one really buys designer items as much as you would think online than in store. A lot of designer purchases for the most part are in store. That's over $1,000 or even over $500 or even over $300 if it's a designer or a contemporary item. For the most part, if any item, it is always most likely made in these stores. And it's going to be my little conclusions, my little chit chat con las bolsas de Dior. I've just been getting a lot of questions and inquiries about my bags, and do I think they're worth it? Do I like them? At the end of the day, like I said, the customer service, the attentiveness, I like the oblique monogram. I really do like it. I like the color navy. This goes with my style. This goes with my aesthetic. I like the people that wear it. I like the branding and the messaging of the brand. So like I said, when I buy something, I like to view it in all aspects, you know, when I have the fashion industry. So for me, I just take a great appreciation for Dior. People are, you know, making his brand what it is and making it more international, giving it more of a youthful vibe, and, you know, having a brighter audience. And for Dior is under LVMH, so Louis Vuitton, like Loewe, Fendi, Dior, many other brands are all under the same umbrella. And I know right now LVMH, their strongest brands for, you know, all their categories is Louis Vuitton and Dior. So that means that they have been really revamping Dior. And like I said, I like everything, and I see you know, even though I may not see myself purchasing anything from Dior the rest of the year, who knows, that could be completely changed. I could buy something tomorrow. But for the most part, I don't see myself purchasing anything from Dior for the rest of the year, just because I'm content with what I have. With Dior, you get what you pay for, and you get great quality service, you get great quality items. The brand, the integrity, everything. So for me, when I wear this bag, I wear it proudly and I wear it with dignity. So yeah guys, this is gonna be my little review, my little chit chat on Dior handbags. I don't know how this goes. I wanted to talk my thoughts, my feelings about Dior handbags. I get asked a lot of questions about Dior in general, so I decided to just talk about my Dior bags. And do I think they're worth the money? For me and what they mean to me, I do think they're worth the money. If you can get it on the secondhand market for a great price, I would say go for it. And I don't think Dior is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. I see it only expanding and being bigger, because now you have social media and you get a lot more brand exposure versus even 10 or 15 years ago, which it was very limited to more magazines and celebrities. So you're reaching our audiences. So for me, I just think that I think that Dior is strong. So if you do want to invest in a brand like Dior, I would go for it. I really do like Dior, and I stand behind this 100%. And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll leave all the links for everything down below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, tweet me on link down below, any video requests, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.